Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Timeout with Coach Kam. It's your boy Cam Chancellor, Coach Cam here. I am excited to bring you another episode, and obviously, I had to give you, another one here because some crazy NBA games. We had a full slate last night, four games. I will touch on some of them today. Make sure you guys that are watching, make sure you please, or if you do watch, please follow the Undrafted Hoops page. That is kind of spearheading this live here. Appreciate them. And yes, and please follow Time Out with Coach Cam page as well. Um, Now, I want to start off by discussing the Milwaukee Bucks and the Miami Heat. Um, Obviously, this was a shock to many. It was a shock to me, really in particular. Um, you know, they won this series 4 games to 1. 4 games to 1. And if you see Jimmy Butler, man, when it's playoff time, he gets into another gear. He gets into another gear, averaging almost 38 points a game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and close to 2 steals. You look at Giannis' stats, obviously 23 points, 11 rebounds, five assists. Also, you got the 5 turnovers. Now, we understand he didn't play 2 games, and we understand those numbers are impacted um, by him only playing 1 game. I mean, half of a pretty much a quarter of 1 game. So we know that there's a little fluctuation in his numbers there. This series loss to me, obviously it comes down to when you're in the playoffs and it's a half court game and things are possession by possession. Your coach can has to be able to adjust. Now, don't get me wrong. Giannis missed 12 free throws. You make probably 6 of those, the game is over. I get it. You know, however, he didn't. And I'm looking at all series long. I'm looking at Jimmy Butler is on the island 1-on-1 with people. I'm sorry. Once a superstar gets going, once a superstar gets rolling, one person can't stop them. Just to let you know, one person cannot stop them, no matter how good the defender is. Once a player is in the zone, they are going to continue to score. They're going to continue to get to their spots. And I feel like Bud does what a lot of coaches do. Say, I'm gonna live and die by my strategy. I'm gonna live and die by not doubling. You have to be able to adjust. There was no soon as Jimmy started cross half court or he get in the pick and roll situation, I will blitz Jimmy Butler. Somebody else has to beat me. I understand they did make shots. Credit to overall the series, Struess. Credit to the Vincents and the Duncan Robinsons. Credit to them, they made shots, but they had to continue to make them. I'm not letting nobody score 50 and you just leave him on the 1-on-1 the whole game. Next game up 40. He was already scoring 30 before. So my question is to everybody, is it time to fire Bud? I felt like the NBA title that they won against the Suns bought Bud some extra years. I think Bud should be fired. I think Bud should be fired. And then you look at the end of the game situation. They were a mess. They was out of sorts. Obviously, he had 2 timeouts, decided not to use them. You can't go into the offseason with timeouts. You had 2 timeouts, didn't use one of them. Feel like he let runs go on too long. Um, Bud is kind of stuck in that, that's where he's stubborn and don't like to change much. So if you're if you're asking me, is it time to fire Bud? I think so. I really do. I really do think so. Um, I do appreciate the watchers here. I got Gary Pazza firing Bud may be a little crazy, and you know what? It may be. It may be a little crazy, but you know what? They're not advancing. I mean, that one time, great. They did great, but Giannis had some all time great performances. I'm just saying it may be time to pull the plug on Bud. You have to do something different. You can't wait too long until it's too late. And that's where I'm at with it. Sometimes you have to be proactive with changes. And it's also not necessarily just firing Bud, but the roster has to change too. And it may change anyway because Chris Middleton could be possibly a free agent. So look at the Bucks this offseason. They may look a little bit different than what we're used to seeing. Um, moving on, those Golden State Warriors, they find a way to get it done. They find a way to battle, scratch, claw their way um, back into this series lead. I know a lot of people at 0-2 was questioning, are the Warriors done? Is it the Kings' time? Is this the last dance of the Warriors? And it still may be. Uh, however, you can't never count the champs out until they lose 4 times. They have to lose 4 times for you to count this group out. Even when it's back against the wall, Draymond suspended, you know, down 2-0, they just find a way. And the Kings really, Fox didn't have a great shooting game last night, and that hurt them. But the Kings, botched a huge opportunity in Game 4. I felt like there was an opportunity there, to really really steal that game and go up 3-1. And once I seen it was 2-2, I said, well, "Where's the win the road?" I know they've been ugly on the road, but I said they're gonna finally uh, win a road game when they need to. Yep, you're right, Gary. It's time to put that beam in storage. It's over. I don't think the beam will be getting lit up this year, but again this year. But um, you never know. But I just see this Warriors team. They've been there. They've done that. They faced adversity, and it just kind of shows how important Andrew Wiggins is. Man, he does all the little stuff for them, all the dirty work, along with Draymond Green. Um, really played great defense on Fox last night. I look for them to close it out, and like Clay said, maybe he was correct. It's still they still, these other teams got to beat them 4 times, and he doesn't feel that they can do it. So the West is put on notice again. They're put on notice again. The Golden State Warriors um, look like they're primed to advance and make another run. And what's crazy about this is what luck they have. I mean, I always say the good teams find luck. You're a 6 seed, and you could potentially play a 7 seed and get home court advantage in the second round. Like that to me, it's just like the Warriors just falls into some luck sometimes. But like I always say, man, the good teams find luck. So that's great for them. Um, so we'll see. But I think Game 6 they will close it out. And I think we'll have a kind of a heavyweight second round matchup here between the Warriors and the Lakers. Here we go. Love that we love that we may get Warriors and Lakers. Appreciate you tuning in, Josh. Love that we may get Warriors and Lakers, even though that probably means LeBron's going home. Well, Josh, and that doesn't make me very upset to see LeBron go home. But it's all good. They're playing good ball. The one thing about that matchup, though, if it does happen, just to touch on it real quick before I go to Cavs and the Knicks, is that they will have a huge problem with Anthony Davis if Anthony Davis comes like Anthony Davis can bring it. It would be a matchup nightmare. I said, but Bron and Curry matchup can happen so many times, so many more times. Excuse me. So we need this. I understand what you're saying, Gary. We do need it probably one more time. But I felt like we also needed LeBron and KD one more time, and we can't get that. They ain't played each other in years. So it's like, I guess we got to take the Bron and Curry matchup. But hey, I feel like if they match up again, I feel like the Warriors will win, but they will have a hard time stopping AD if AD come to play. That would be a matchup nightmare for the Warriors. All right. I got to kind of adjust my seat on this. Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, I hate to be the "I told you so" person. I don't like to be that person, really. I don't. Um, however, When the trade was made in the off season, and you gave up your three first rounders, Laurie Markkinen, Colin Sexton, you know, I said, first of all, Danny Ainge doesn't never loses a trade. I haven't seen him ever lose a trade, really. Um, Second off, is you gave up all this for Donovan Mitchell, and your team was young and ascending. Your team was young and ascending. Yeah, you got to the playoff game, playing game. Yeah, it didn't work. Playing tournament. Yeah, it didn't work out. But you seen that this Cavs team was young. You seen they were good. You seen they were ascending. If you give up that much draft capital for a player, that player has to be a bona fide superstar. Not a borderline superstar, not a star, not an all-star. He has to be a bona fide superstar. So when I went on Twitter when the trade was made and I said, I don't like the trade, it was too much draft capital. Donovan Mitchell is not going to lead you to the promised land. You're a first round exit waiting to happen. And you gave up all this for like maybe 5 more regular season wins. And everybody like, oh no, how can you say he's not a superstar? How can you say he's not a superstar? I said, I've seen it. He's too small, 6'1" as a shooting guard. So you got a small backcourt, which it was like a watered down, poor man's version of Dame and CJ. No, it is with Garland and Mitchell. And I said they will have a hard time guarding. And people try to tell me, well, they got Mobley and Allen. I said, you can't get over fast enough in time on straight line drives. And that's what's happening. Brunson getting in there, Barrett getting in there. There's nothing the bigs can do. They rotate over, is kick it out for open shots. And then if you look at Mitchell performance and we just showed the stats, I mean, come on. And that was under 20 points a game. He your star. Now it's like, where do you go if you're the Cavs? You done gave up all this, and your team is really not constructed to win. Not in the playoffs. Look at this: 28% from three, 4 turnovers a game, under 45% shooting, just not efficient. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he might have shot 3 for 10 or 11 for 3 last night. It's just you can't win like that. You can't win like that, and he's a poor defender as well, and that's highlighted when the game is more slowed down half court in the playoffs. So I don't even know where the Cavs go from here. Obviously, they got to keep staying pat. Obviously, probably what's up, Kenton? Appreciate it. That's my guy there. Obviously, they might have to just really kind of just stand pat, maybe switch the coach. I know I'm hard on coaches today, but the lackluster effort that the Cavs gave as a whole, and I don't want to just harp on Donovan Mitchell as a whole. That team was lifeless last night. That team was lifeless last night. Game 5, elimination game on your home floor. Uh, Come on, man. Come on. This is a good point, Josh. Donovan Mitchell should be a good defender too. He has crazy wingspan. He does. He does, and that was the one thing they overlooked on him because of the height. They said, "Well, wow, he got a long wingspan, so he still will be able to be a good combo guard in the league," which he is. But he's just not a willing defender, and that hurts you when it comes playoff time. And we seen it last year. It's like Brunson is kind of like this Donovan Mitchell kryptonite. Because last year with the Mavericks, Luka didn't come back to the end of that series. Brunson had already had them up like 2 games to 1. So it's like something with Brunson and Mitchell. They're gonna have to. Mitchell's gonna have to figure it out. He's gonna have to figure it out. He's gonna have to become more efficient, maybe a better playmaker for others. Um, and the last notion about the Cavs, Jared Allen, where were you? You're an all-star in this league, all-star center. Not understand Mitchell Robinson just straight pushed him around. And that's kudos to Mitchell Robinson. I mean, but he was a man out there and they couldn't rebound. Second chance after second chance after second chance after second chance. So if you're the Cavs, you're gonna have to grow up a little bit. Um, you're gonna have to get stronger. Mobley gonna have to probably put on a little bit of weight as well. And I would like to see Evan Mobley with a bigger offensive role. I think his offensive production and his offensive growth was stunted due to the fact of the addition of Donovan Mitchell. It made him more of, you know, I get mines where I can get it instead of being a focal point of the offense. I really feel like Evan Mobley is skilled enough to be a 20 plus point scorer, double digit rebounder. He's a 20 and 10 guy. He needs to be used as so. So hopefully, even though it's a guard league, but you can still use Evan Mobley as he can, hit the mid-range jumper, can step out from the three occasionally, and he's a unicorn, man. You gotta develop him on the offensive end because I think that can unlock some things for Cleveland. All righty, and we're going to move on to y'all favorites, the locks of the day. Locks of the day, obviously, we just got one NBA game, and that sucks because once you start to get the one NBA game, you start to be like, oh, you know what? It's almost to the end of this thing. Um, Now, obviously, last night we went 2-1. I mean, we had a winning night overall since we've uh, been posting on Undrafted Hoops. We, excuse me, we are, I believe, oh yeah, we are 4-3. So we still have a positive record. Like I said, successful gamblers are hits 55% of the time. So we're on our way there. And tonight we're gonna keep it simple. We're not gonna get flashy. We're gonna keep it simple since it's one game. I like DeAndre Hunter with 10 plus points tonight. Every game that he's played in this series, the 5 games, he has gotten 11 or more points. So I do like DeAndre Hunter to score 10. I like Malcolm Brogdon to score over 11 and a half. 4 out of the 5 games, he scored 13 or more. Malcolm Brogdon also plays 25 minutes a night. Him and Marcus Smart basically split um, split this split minutes. Appreciate you, Josh. Yeah, Josh there. He definitely follows along, and we win. So he's good too as well. So we bounce it off of each other and get this and try to get the money here. But I really like Michael Brogdon as he plays the same amount of minutes as Marcus Smart, basically a starter. And he does get shots up when he's in the game. And they look for him to be that scoring off the bench. So I like Michael Brogdon over 11 and a half. Minus 6.5 Celtics. I think Celtics was up big in that game. They let Trae Young get hot. They didn't, close the game out. They didn't put their foot on the throat. Appreciate you, Gary. Let's go. We got to get it. So in most of these games, Boston has been up big at one point. So I'm gonna go with Boston minus 6.5 here. You might see it at 7, but I'm just gonna shave off that half a point there, so we can avoid a push if it comes to be that. And Marcus Smart 10 points. Marcus Smart has been solid throughout this playoffs. He's always giving you double digits. We were on a roll of Marcus Smart's on the points, rebounds, and assists over 21 and a half, but that ended last game. But he did get the 12 points. So I trust Marcus Smart to get 10 here. So as you can see, that'd be plus 328. So yeah, obviously $10 will win you 32.80. $20 will win you probably like 65.20 or something around there nature. So there you go. That's the locks of the day. And make sure you tell that. Like I say, I don't want any type of tips or anything like that. We all here to try to crush the book. So, but one more thing, real quick, before I go, because obviously I do touch on all sports here, even though I'm mainly NBA, but I do touch on all sports. I have to talk about this. I have to talk about the prime situation in Colorado really quick. What I don't understand, and I'm kind of talking to Cincinnati fans in general, because that's who I know about, you know. Um, what does Prime potentially, well, rooting for Prime to fail, what does that do? How does that help anything? Like people are actively rooting for Prime to fail. People are like, oh, he has 50 players in the portal. Those guys were 1 and 11. So you do guys though do realize, right? If Prime goes 4 and 8, that's improvement, right? Why root for Coach Prime to fail? I just don't understand. And one doesn't have to do with the other. To me, it's like you almost sorry he didn't come here. Which the Colorado deal was already done. All that Dion talk was speculation. But when I go on Twitter and I see a bunch of UC fans cheering at another players in the portal for Colorado, happy like we won the national championship, I don't get it. I don't get it. So I asked the question, why do you want Coach Prime to fail? Why? Everything Coach Prime has ever done has been with flash, has been with bravado, has been with confidence, borderline cockiness. What make you think he was gonna come into this and be any different? Because he wasn't. He told him, "I'm coming. I'm coming." Josh comments here says, "I think Coach Prime exemplifies what we need to still have in coaching. He holds men to high accountability to become successful men and athletes." Exactly. Exactly. Now, where Coach Prime, now this is where Coach Prime has to be different. And I'll be quick and I'll let you guys go. Coach Prime is going to have to adapt to the NIL. You can't come in and, walk into somebody's living room and say, "I'm Coach Prime, come play for me." Because the question that the athlete is asking is, okay, that's cool and all, but are you matching that 130,000 that USC offered me? That's cool and all, but these players want to get paid. That's where I think he has to adjust a little bit. But as far as getting the guys out that was there at Colorado and they're 1 and 11, newsflash, college isn't the same. This is almost professionalism. You're getting paid to play, which means if you're getting paid to play, that means your scholarship is on the line from year in, year out. We have a meeting at the end of the year. If you didn't live up to your NIL money or live up to your end of the deal, you have to run me that scholarship. And I have to get somebody else in there that can win. Because if I don't win, I'm fired. So that's why I say when people want an NIL, I said be careful on both sides. Because now you accept the money, but now it's pay to play. So you better perform or you gone next year. Hit the portal. Find someone where else. And that's what Dion basically said. He said, "I'm coming. A lot of you guys won't be here." That's cool. Ken brought it perfect facts. You may not like his style, but there's no reason to hate. It's that simple. Nobody said anything to Rick Pitino at the press conference when he said, "Well, I haven't met with all the guys because probably all the guys won't be here." He had the one player that he wanted to keep in the news conference. Everybody else wasn't there. So welcome to the new college sports. There's no reason why to hate on Prime. And yes, Prime will struggle his first year, obviously. He's going to struggle a little bit. That's cool. But I guarantee you, the ones laughing now won't be laughing later. And that's it for Timeout with Coach Kam. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Appreciate everybody commenting. We'll try to bring more episodes and more heat to you. But like I said, please follow Undrafted Hoops page. A lot of great page, great information, locks of the day, and keeping up with the NBA news. So until next time, time out with Coach Kam. We out.